Hello everyone, welcome. Can you guys hear me? Just gonna wait a couple of minutes before we jump right into the live stream. While we wait, let's see if people actually start to tune in to message on our chat. Let me see right here. Not actually sure my chat is working. Okay, I think it is now. Hello, Erman. Hello, welcome. Good to have everyone here. Welcome to another week, to another live stream. How's the audio? Can you guys hear well, see well? I hope this was fixed from a couple of weeks ago where everything was laggy. It kind of changed the settings again. So let's see. Audio's fine. Nice. Okay, so let's jump right into it, shall we? We have a big event to talk about this week. If you are part of the Sleep Money Club, if you follow the crypto chat, the crypto options chat, you already know what's happening. Also from the title. Hello, Sleep Money Maker. Welcome. Aviator C. Hello. So, let's jump on SyncQuote so we can see what we're talking about right here. Let me go to desktop and camera. There you go. So, we last week, or this week actually, lost heavily. This was the worst week since ever, pretty much. We've now completed 30 weeks of crypto options that I tracked. I did it before, but on the V1 that we had on Lira, the data did not go through, and I wasn't about just to look for every transactions on Optimism scan. So we total have probably close to completing 1 year of crypto options, but with tracked data 30 weeks. So we've completed 30 weeks, which is a huge milestone. But you can see that the huge milestone had a very bad gift, which was this week. If we go to trading history, settled. We've lost $447. Why did this happen? Well, it happened because we let the option expire. So I could have closed the option yesterday or all these other days, but until yesterday, I did not think that Ethereum was gonna close below this resistance right here. See, this right here. I thought the not resistance, sorry, support. I thought Ethereum was gonna hold the support because it did multiple times, both the bottom and the top. The top was a little bit stronger. You can see that it kept staying inside above the top right here. Then we had on Tuesday we had the CPI. Then Wednesday we had jobs, I think it was, and then we had the fake news from that the government was dumping the tokens, which none of that happened, but Ethereum did not pick up from where it left off, nor did Bitcoin. So now we're under the support, which became a resistance. So there's that. Now, worst week ever reminds me of a movie title. Bose Davis, hello, welcome to the live stream. So what ended up happening is that it was I think there was a movie with Jim Carrey in it, A Series of Unfortunate Events, I think it was called. And this is exactly what happened this week. So this week was a combination of me being sick the whole week, throughout the whole weekend, Ethereum flipping the green candle when we sold the position, because we actually sold right here. We sold at 1950s it was, and then the next day on Saturday it dumped all the way back. We thought it was gonna hold on the channel. It broke the channel very fast. It tried once, and then the second time it broke. We thought it was gonna hold the support. It held the support multiple times, then it went down. And by the time I went to sleep, I thought Ethereum was gonna at least go back closer to the 1800s, which did not happen. So instead we got a lot, like everything that could have been worst got, like everything that could not have worked out did not work out. So I think it was bingo on this one, because we completed everything that could have happened. That being said, we need to learn from these things that happen, from our mistakes and from things we cannot control. A fortunate thing is that we didn't get close to get liquidated. If you look when you open a position, you have the health factor. The health factor never got close to 1.0. So the lowest it got, I think it was 1.16. So we still had a lot of margin to hold on to, and it was this morning. I think it was 2:30 in the morning for me, so 3 hours before expiration. So we need to learn something from these mistakes. Okay, I've already discussed a little bit with Crypto Ricardo, with Erman, all these guys that I usually talk on a daily basis. On crypto is very weird lately. Has been very weird. It seems, I could even say market manipulation, but I'm not going to go that far, because all these fake news, I think this is the second or third already, where it says, hey, Mt. Gox wallets are active and they're going to be dumping Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever they have. And everyone just panics and they sell. These sort of things makes it unfortunate for us, because those break the logic, those break the rules that we impose ourselves with technical analysis. So these things are kind of hard to digest, at least in my opinion. It's hard to see markets getting dumped because of irrational fear, but it is how the market works. It works by retailers being manipulated by news or whatever it is, FOMO, whatever it is. So how can we move on from this? Like, what are these steps that I'm going to take to, first of all, prevent this from happening again? And second of all, to try to make this money back, okay? Dando says, hey, hello, Dando. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. So welcome. If you have any questions, just reach out, just drop them down here so we can discuss, and I can help you out, or someone else in the chat can help you out. So if we go back right here, we have $1,890, okay? We were at all-time highs, I think 2,300. Yeah, 2,300 right here. 2,300 was the peak of our portfolio. So now that's the new top that we need. That's the top that we need to achieve again. How are we gonna do this? I actually prepared. Let me go to full screen, because we need to be a little more. Needs to be better to see. So I prepared something. I'll actually get that for you. Let me open the camera here so we have more space for activities. So we have our whiteboard right here. Can you guys hear me well? Just let me know if you guys can hear me or not. We have two strategies. Does it flip for you? I don't think it flips for you, but if the text flips, let me tell you, just let me know so I can flip the camera. I can flip the image. So we have two things here, two strategies that we can go with for on how we're going to proceed with these next weeks. Okay, so strategy number one, we continue with our 2 to 2.5. We continue looking for the 2% every week. Okay, sorry for the handwriting. This is very bad, I know, but bear with me. If you cannot read, just let me know. So the first strategy is to keep things close to how we were right now. So to keep the 2.5% weekly yield that we are currently looking for every week, which means the delta between 10 to 15 delta, which is reasonable delta for our current strategy. This would mean that we have a fast recovery on our capital, on our portfolio, the net worth of the portfolio. And then we have strategy number two. I see a little bit of a glare there. Thanks. Okay, so strategy number two, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a lower ROI. So we're gonna have a 1.5 to 1.8 ROI, which means a delta of lower than 10. So we're going to be looking at deltas of 6, deltas of 8, whatever it is lower, but still gives us that 1.5 to 1.8 that we're looking for. This would mean that we have a slower recovery, so it will take us a little bit more time, or a combination of time and us depositing weekly deposits, like concurrent deposits every week, like $50, $100, whatever it is. If that's part of your plan, of course, my strategy is whenever I can, I just deposit more money into the portfolio because that helps with the compounding interest. But it will still mean way lower recovery than this method one right here. But slower recovery, but higher chance of profit. So you can see, for example, Crypto Ricardo, he always shares his wins and losses on Twitter as well. And Crypto Ricardo, for the longest time, almost 30 weeks if I'm not mistaken, because he started close with me a little since I started tracking these options. I think he also started tracking these options, and he, for the longest time, and I'm talking like months, he had 100% win rate. 100% win rate. My portfolio grew way more than his, in percentage wise, not in dollar amount, but because he was looking for the 1%, sometimes 1.3, sometimes 1.5, his yield was consistent and his portfolio growth was linear. It was actually not linear. It was going to go parabolic because of compound interest, but it was there was no loss for the longest time. So what that allowed him to do is to sleep better at night, to take the time off, not having to worry about charts, not having to worry about putting alarms, putting notifications on his phone, whatever it is. So between these two, I'm actually gonna go stay away from the current strategy, which might sound illogical because how are we gonna get our money back if we don't do it faster? No, because think with me, if we go for another 2%, 2.5%, and the markets gives us another combination of a bunch of bad things happening, then we get screwed more. So instead of going for the 2% again, we go back the 8 or whatever it is percent that we lost, or even more, maybe 13, 14% that we lost. So you see how this doesn't make sense. Strategy number one does not make sense in the long term. It might make sense in the short term because higher number, better, but this one right here, I think would do the job. So now, or at least until we get our portfolio back to the standards that were before, so the $2,300, we're gonna go for this one. it will be way less exciting to see. Okay, way less exciting to see because wow, this guy's doing all this analysis, all these things for 1.5%, for 1% sometimes some weeks if there's nothing good for us. Well, yes, because even though you can make 4%, okay, you can make 4%, but if you make 4% 3 times out of 10, and then the other 7 you lose money, overall your portfolio is going to be negative, okay? Negative. But if you make 1% 10 times, your portfolio will be way more than the 4% guy because you're going to be compounding that money weekly, bam, bam, bam. And that's the secret. So it hurts. It hurts to see these losses right here. I do play a little bit of a factor in that because I could have closed, and I did mention that since Tuesday, I think, on the Discord, on the Sleep Money Club, that guys, you could see this as an opportunity for you to exit. Okay, if someone even asked me that day, I think it was, what is the parameter for you to exit the position? And I said, if by the end of the night, if by the time I go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I see Ethereum below 1800 at that time, which was a Tuesday, then I take my losses and I walk away. I open another position, try to make it back this week, like maybe like $20-$30, whatever it is that the premium has to offer me, and then I try to make it back the next weeks. So everything is good. Let me see. Aviator C, how can I see Crypto Ricardo? Just type Crypto Ricardo on Twitter. He's in my followed list. So if you look in my friends, so you're gonna find his name. He sometimes is here in the live stream with us, but because he lives in a different time zone, a very bad time zone for the time that I'm streaming, most of the time he's not gonna be online. When the live streams were late and a little bit later for me, it was his morning time, so it was better for him to watch these streams. So, but he always watches them later. So I'm sure Crypto Ricardo, you're watching right now. So people can go and check his. He writes about crypto options now. He tracks his performances on social media, so that's really good as well. So that being said, it's already 1:20 for me. Okay, that being said, let's go to trade right here, and let's take a look at these options. Let me actually. If you guys have any questions, just drop them down below so we can so I can answer them before we start making the before we start looking for the next next week's options. So let's see right here, options tracker. I'm actually just looking for the spreadsheet so we can fill out all the information there. From this week. 1 second. Aviator C says, I'm thinking 1600 would be a good support to sell a put. Okay, so let me open here. Let me share the screen. There we go. So we're gonna sell May 19th. Yeah, that's right. And we go to calls. Let's see what calls have to offer this week. First of all, let me go to the daily right here. Let's take a look. 1600 is all the way down here for the calls. 2K. $19.51, and here would be 1600. So for the call, let's take a look at the 1950s right here. Delta of 8. Then we have the 2K, the deltas of 5, half of the premiums. And for the 49.95% implied volatility, if we scroll to the put side, we go to the 1658, delta of 9. But 68, and it is 10% off to break even. And here 10% off is at 1950. Okay. So we can see that both the 1600, as Aviator C mentioned, and the 1950 are around 10% from current prices. Okay, around 10% from current prices. The put has a higher implied volatility, so you can see that the delta is a little bit higher, even though we are the same distance from the current price. If you go to call right here, 1950, you will see that the implied volatility just reached 50 right now, but the delta is still at 8 and 4.43 in premiums. But this one has a 6.20 in premium. Delta 9, 58% implied volatility. So with a higher implied volatility, you get higher premiums, okay? Just how the way it works. So what we usually do right here is we go to, we get the data from Sleep Moneymaker, the range that he gives us, and then we look at your indicators that you normally use on your charts, and you go to the delta ranges. So something very interesting is that Ethereum almost completely, at least from yesterday, ignored the 1800 gamma level, okay, which was that the top of that blue box right there that we highlighted in the charts right here, the bottom actually. Ethereum yesterday just ignored and dropped below it, okay? I don't know what it was, but you can see right here that even market makers are suffering with their positions because there's too much gamma, or meaning there's too much that they need to neutralize. They need to neutralize at the 1.8 $1,800 Ethereum. So the $1,800 mark has 634 in gamma levels, which means 634 contracts that needed to be neutralized. And if we go right here to the 19th, let's see. Yeah, we have negative gamma all below 1800. We have 1800 as a huge gamma. And then we have a 1900 as positive gamma. And we have 1850 with almost zero. So we don't even consider this right here. If you look right here, on the Bollinger Bands that I do like to use Bollinger Bands. It broke below. On the daily you don't see it very well, but right here you see that it broke outside of the Bollinger Bands. Once the funnel gets shorter and then it just breaks out, it just goes down or up. it is unidirectional. So you can see how it just went down all the way to 1739 it was, and now it's trying to pick it up back again. But we have the moving average right here that serves as a resistance. So this might just bounce back right here and then it go back down to the next resistance area, support area, which is this right here on the 1700s. So personally, I would be more safe selling a call, okay? Just because we are on a downtrend right here. We don't know if that's gonna revert or not. And because on the upside, if we look on the daily, we now have our 1800 that became a ceiling. It became a support for us. So the 1950, it has $2 less premium, close to two in some sense, but it offers a whole lot of support now, a whole lot of resistances now for Ethereum. Okay. Let's see if actually Aviator C says I was using moving average, different approach. On the 12 hours we have 200 AMA as support. True. Also, I usually don't go to the 12 hours, but I can see it from the 4 hours. Usually I just stay between 2, 4 and the daily. But yeah, the 200 moving average is also can also be used as support or resistance. So let me just move this right here a little bit. So let's go back to see the premiums that we have. How does that correlate right here? Let's start with the call. Let's go all the way to the 1950s. 1950s 444. Let's see how many contracts we can do now. 5.3 maybe less. Exactly 5.3. And we will collect $23. So if we go right here, 23.51, we'll divide this by the 1890, and we have 1.24. Okay, 1.24 on the side. And on the put side, 1650, 1600s, 621, I think 5.3 here as well. $32.91. We open the calculator again. Divide this by the 18. 1.68. Okay. So you can see 0.4% difference right here, almost 0.4%. Aviator C says, which time frame is most relevant for weekly options? Well, that is a tricky question because that's not how it works. Usually you just think on whatever is shorter than the daily. So you look from the daily down, because what you want to see is changing in direction for market conditions for you to close a position early, if that's what you need to do. Okay. So sometimes when I'm talking to Crypto Ricardo, usually he says, no, because I see a bullish, and I go, you see it bullish on what time frame? And he says, well, in the current months. Well, for us that doesn't really matter. For us, doesn't really matter what Ethereum is gonna go, what is it gonna do, where is it gonna go in the next months. We don't see it in a monthly fashion. We see it in a weekly fashion. So we need to see it from Friday to Friday, or from Saturday in cases of other people that just open the positions on Saturday, from Saturday to the next Friday. Okay. So there is no point of you using unless you're doing a very wide macro, you're tracking a macro support or a macro resistance that is going way back, there's no point for you to look at these high up time frames. I personally go with the 4 hours and the daily to see to project for the week. So for the week, I look for the 4 hours and the daily. But throughout the day, I just keep it between the 2 hours and the 30 minutes. This is to wait, for example, oh, it is about to break this support right here, or it is about to break this resistance right here. I'm going to be looking at the 30 minutes chart to pay attention. I'm going to wait for confirmation on 30 minutes charts. Then I'm going to move for the 2 hours charts, still confirming. Then yes, we can say that it broke this whatever, or no, it didn't break this support, or it didn't break this resistance. And then I scale it back down to the 4 hour. I zoom out back to the 4 hour charts, wait for it to get another, maybe the Bollinger is closing again, or the RSI gets too oversold or overbought, whatever it is. Then so when it is kind of like a zoom in and a zoom out thing, depends on the time frame that you're looking at. Hello, Funny Toro. Funny Toro just joined. Hello, welcome. When you're looking at the week itself, I personally would go with the daily or the 4 hours. If you're trying to see something very specific happening to the underlying asset, then you would go for whatever time frame you use. 15 minutes maybe. I personally don't like 15 minutes. I think it is already too zoomed in. That is for traders, day traders, whatever it is, speculators that are looking for sudden movements in the asset itself. I hope that was clear. If you're selling bi-weeklies, then you might go for the weekly chart. You just might want to see if the weeklies show any support, any resistance that you can track for the next week, these sort of things. If you're selling quarterly options, which I don't know why you would, but if you have the opportunity, you can do whatever you want. Then you could go with the weeklies. You can go with whatever that is that we have higher than the weeklies. I think only the monthly we have after that. But I think that is up to everyone on how they perceive, on what they're looking for in the market. Okay, it's like a lens. If you're trying to find a little needle in the haystack, then you need to go with shorter time frames. If you're trying to see just the bigger picture, which is what we usually look for from Friday to Friday, then you go with the daily. I hope this was okay as an explanation. Sorry for the rant, the long talk. So the 1900s, let's actually see the 1900s. How does that look on the daily? First of all, 1900s would be all the way here. (7.10%). Well, I think for this week, I'm just gonna go safe so we can start the journey to get back the money that we lost. So I'm gonna go safe with the 1950. And since this week I don't have, I'm not sick anymore, I should be able to close and flip the positions whenever I start to see that, hey, we just saw the call, and then Ethereum's starting to rally again. For some stupid reason, Ethereum's starting to rally because we had a whole lot of bullish news and it didn't go up, but now it's going back up again. So if that ends up happening, now I have the chance to flip it and let you guys know on the Discord, which sometimes was not a thing during last week. So let's quote again the call, the 1950 right here, 44. Let's actually refresh just to make sure we are. Yeah, my MetaMask had disconnected, so I'm glad I connected again. There we go, the 1900s, sell put, sell call, actually, sorry. $4.44, okay, 5.4, I think it was. No, it was 5.3. You guys can see it because of the camera. As usual, I forget to move it off. Press for quote. 2350 for 433. Sell the option and approve. $0.74. Wow, it's getting expensive here on Arbitrum. So we go to portfolio, we see already we have our position opened. And this is it. So we open a 1950 call, 5.3 contracts of Ethereum at 4.43 average per contract, okay? Which is, we collected a $23.50 in premium. So this was this week. Again, we need to learn from whatever happens. If we don't learn and if we just get to us, then you're just gonna miss the opportunities that the lives present to you to learn more, to get better at what you do, which is for us making passive income with options. Theta gang, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's see if I have any more things to talk about. I don't think I do. I will be using the whiteboard a little bit more. I'm gonna be copying Decade Investor a little bit more with his whiteboard strategy to explain things. I think it works very well. Also, if you guys have anything more specific, options related or whatever it is, DeFi related, I was thinking about making 2 live streams per week. So our usual Friday one will be for crypto options, and then a second one with the time to be decided by the community would be to talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about. You want me to look at a protocol, you guys want me to do some research with you, or to show whatever it is that you want me to do. If that's something that would be interesting to you guys, I now might have the time frame to do so. Maybe on a Monday, on a Tuesday, whatever day works better for you guys. So just let me know if that's something that might interest you. We can be having more live streams per week, and as long as we have the content to provide to you guys, and it is something that you guys are interested in seeing. So I don't think I have any more to talk about here. Right now, when the stream ends, make sure you go and check out the video that I released today. It is a video that the first partnership that I did in a long time, but it is with a very good protocol called Hyperfluid. They are kind of like GMX, if you know perpetual dexes. So it is a perpetual futures dex. It has way more features than GMX, for example. It has a lot more tokens. It is on Arbitrum, and it has something that for us, which like passive income, this is why I got in contact with them. This is why I started talking to them, because they have something very interesting, which is the liquidating vaults. Hyperliquid, yes. They have liquidating vaults. So you can be a market maker, you can be providing liquidity, which you can already do in GMX, for example. You can provide liquidity as a market maker, but you also have the opportunity of becoming a liquidator, and that's where the money is, to be honest, because it's just like you're just like the bank. If someone owes the bank and is not paying their mortgage or whatever, they're gonna get evicted, and the bank's gonna get the house back because they get liquidated. Okay, the same thing goes for positions. If you keep a position open for too long, someone or the protocol itself, but usually our market makers, they can liquidate you, and market makers actually make money from liquidating other people. Okay, but on on TradFi, on traditional finances, and also in DeFi, not everyone has the opportunity to become a liquidator, because most of the time what you need to be is for you to be a market maker. But now they offer a vault where you can be part of the process of liquidating loser traders. Okay, it is not fun to get liquidated, but it is part of the process. There's always people that are losing trades, they're losing bets in futures. This is the whole premise behind the real yield protocol, the real yield narrative behind GMX, behind GTrade, behind all protocols that offer real yield. Most of the real yield comes from trading fees and from P&L of losing traders. Okay, that negative P&L that people do, the more people lose from trading, the more the house makes. And if you're a market maker, if you're an LP, if you're providing liquidity, well, that's a way for you to get money, because you're providing liquidity, more fees, more volume, and you're making more money. But also, if you're part of the liquidating vault, which is something that I haven't seen before, that was the first time, then you have this nice feature for you to collect extra yield. I already joined. It is a paid partnership, but it comes from the heart when I say that I did my due research, and you should do yours as well. This is why I always try to be 100% transparent that it was a paid partnership for me to talk about their project, but for me to use their project, they don't get to choose that. So I chose to use their protocol. I chose because it was good, and the idea behind it is very interesting. So make sure to check that video out. It will help the channel. It will help with the likes, with the subscribes, whatever it is, you know, the usual deal. So I think this is it for today's live stream. I hope this one is profitable. We have some green this week. We all need a little bit of green this week from in our portfolios, at least I do. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll keep you guys updated on the Discord for any news, for everything that I do, every change that I need in case Ethereum starts going back up. It goes above the 1800 that we have right now. Funny Toro says, thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yep. Thank you guys as well. As Funny Toro says, everyone enjoy your weekend with your family. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies, mothers that are watching, or I hope you guys spend some days with your mom on Mother's Day as well. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.